The Jehovah's Witnesses just made a historic change and tacitly suggested to people that they will not be punished if they are going to allow their children to further their education. And with this, a lot of people might be speculating and thinking about what this means for the organization going forward in the future. Now, this is actually something that I anticipated. I thought this was going to happen for the last probably 8 months or so. I've made a couple of different videos and I thought I made a pretty good case for it, why this is an inevitable change. It's going to happen because it has to happen if you're trying to accomplish the ultimate goal. And the goal is, how are we going to maintain the Jehovah's Witness religious business without having people walk out the door? And I just wanted to go on a little bit of a rant here today because I have a notion, an idea, speculation, whatever you want to call it, that this is the first domino that's going to fall in what's ultimately going to be the biggest change that this organization has ever made, where they are going to essentially come out and say, it's okay if you plan on your future because Armageddon isn't around the corner. So let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally, and today, this is going to be podcast style Wally. I'm just going to go on a bit of a rant. I've been thinking about this since I woke up, and even while I was laying in bed, because I can never fall asleep because I've just lost my ability to sleep for whatever reason. It is getting marginally better, but anyway, whatever the case is, this was the worst intro of all time. Why did I say whatever the case is? What I meant to say was, well, with that being said, that's the expression that I use before and I go into my little pitch of why you should subscribe to the channel. 45,000 subscribers, drop a like on the video, it takes 1 cent, enter in the Among Us music. Thank you for dropping a like on the video, it's very much appreciated. Now, down to business. What does this mean for the organization going forward? I promise I'll stop talking that fast, but you gotta pack in as much as you can at the beginning of a video. I genuinely think that the organization can do anything at this point. A lot of people disagree. They said I was a little bit crazy or overblowing it or trying to be clickbaity. I'm still going to stand my ground. When I look at what they changed in their doctrine, when they said it's okay for you to be disfellowshipped, for you to leave the organization and wait until there's evidence of the Great Tribulation and come back in and join at the last second and you still get paradise. When I saw that, to me, that was a testing ground for how far they can go without everyone getting up and leaving. Think about it. You are telling people that everything they're doing for the organization, putting in all the extra effort, dedicating their life to doing free work for Watchtower. You are telling people, looking them in the eyes and saying, it doesn't actually matter. Literally, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, leave, and wait until there is a one world government. All the nations on planet Earth agree that they are going to have a one world government. And on top of that, that one world government is going to outlaw all religion. You can wait for that moment, this thing that will never happen. And then you can join and you will still get the exact same reward as if you sacrifice everything. If you make every sacrifice, don't put yourself first, live a life of just giving everything to the organization. Go and build kingdom halls. Go and build branch offices. Preach, preach, preach. Don't plan for your future. Don't save for retirement. Don't get married. Don't have children. You can do all of that, and you will be standing next to the person that left the organization, that went to college, that had girlfriends, that was having sex, that built a career, that started a family, that built a house, that started a company. You will be standing next to that person in paradise, and there will be zero difference in the mind of God. He'll give you the exact same reward. If you can look at your members and say that, and they all don't get up and walk away, it signals to me that they can pretty much say whatever. There's nothing off the table at that point. To me, that is a testing ground for how much control they have over people. And they found out they have ultimate control. What else is there? Like, what possibly could they say beyond that would make someone wake up and walk away? I think they found out something very important, that the people that will stay are going to stay no matter what they say. And the people that are going to leave are going to leave no matter what they say. And once they understood that, it becomes a pretty simple equation. Okay, how do we limit the amount of people that will leave, and how do we make it as easy as possible for the people that are going to stay? And for the people that leave, how do we try and diminish the amount of anger and hatred they have for the organization if we know that people are going to leave and people are going to stay? What are the things people are complaining about? What does some jackass on YouTube get up and start saying, oh man, I had this horrible childhood because of... Okay, what is the number one thing that I see in YouTube comments? I don't know how many comments I've had over the course of the last 5 years on this channel, but it's probably, over 100,000. Over 100,000 comments. What is the number one complaint that people have about their experience of being a Jehovah's Witness? And it's not even close. What do you think it is? Type it down below. What do you think it is? We'll see if you're right. I'll give you like 5 seconds to think about it, or pause the video. That's a little bit easier, so I don't have to sit here in the dark and just look at the wall. It's that they couldn't go to college. And when I say it's not close, just going through and looking at comments, and it's not just recency bias either. This is very consistent. The number one complaint is that they couldn't go to university and pursue education. And it makes sense. Like, who gives a flying flock of seagull about not being able to go to, Todd Jackson's birthday party when you were 8 years old? No one cares about that. Do you really think that you're like, oh man, I can't believe that I had to go and knock on doors when I was 11 years old? It sucks. Yeah. But is that going to ultimately alter the course of your life? Not really. Not having a birthday party going to alter the course of your life? Not really. But what does? What actually affects people for the rest of their life? This little thing of not pursuing education and establishing a career for themselves. It's huge. It's massive. It's everyone's biggest regret of being a Jehovah's Witness. And conversely, people that go against the grain, their greatest triumph when they can stand up and say, I went against the grain. I allowed myself to go to college. It was hard. I had to fight. They wanted to disfellowship me. Everyone told me, no, stop. They all stand up. They do every time. And they stand up and say, but I did it anyway. They're so freaking proud of that. And they should be. They should be, because everything was against you and yet you did that shit anyway. So, I don't think I'm unique in this perspective. I think Watchtower is smarter than sometimes we give them credit for. And they know this. I think they'll be intimately aware of everyone's biggest complaint. And so, what do you do about that? If you don't want people being able to say stuff when they do leave, because they're going to leave anyway, and if the people that stay, you can make them a little bit more comfortable, what do you do about that? Yes, all of the dangers of Satan's system still exist. All of the sharks are still in the water, and these worldly philosophies that'll infect your mind. All of those things still exist. But we're not going to punish you for it. It's an option. Because at least from an optics perspective, we want you to know that it's a personal choice. We're staying out of it. All we can do is tell you of the danger, but ultimately, if you decide you want to do that, that's up to you. It's a personal choice. That is a monumental shift. I just watched the video that I made about a year ago, where I said I think they're going to, I was way off in my timing. I'm like, I could see this in the next 5 years, them, changing their policies on secular higher education. I was way off because it was like, I should have said it'll be 5 to 10 months, not 5 to 10 years. But either way, I think I was I was smelling what was in the water, either way. And people laughed at me and people said, they're never going to change this. Why would they would never do this? This is the most exercise of control, blah, blah. I'm just saying, I was rubbing my crystal ball, baby. Anyway, when you are the organization, or sorry. When I was watching that video, I went back and looked at the entire timeline of what they had said, all the way back to Charles Taze Russell, and what they were on about why you shouldn't pursue education. And there was a very consistent theme. They had always tied it to the nearness of Armageddon. Maybe you guys see where I'm going with this. Historically, at every turn, every single time they're talking about it, it was don't pursue higher education because, there was all the dangers and everything, but the ultimate, the big whopper was that the end of the world was right around the corner. And then they kind of slowly were like, there's dangers with education, but they stopped mentioning don't do it because the end is right around the corner. Now, I think that this means, again, we're rubbing the old crystal ball here. I think we are about to see the biggest change, maybe the second biggest change that they've ever made. And I'm trying to think how they're going to pitch this. Realistically, what is the smartest way if you're a governing body member and you're trying to figure out, okay, at this year's annual meeting, how are we going to, or next year's annual meeting, how are we going to pitch the concept that the end isn't right around the corner? We just had it in a Watchtower as well, where it said maybe the end of the system is not going to come in your lifetime, right? So they put that idea out there. There was a Watchtower 6 months ago that also talked about saving for retirement. And that was something a wholly unheard of in Watchtower. I actually have to pee. I don't know why. So I'm going to have to stop my rant here, go pee, and then I'll come back a bit fresher. Okay, I feel a lot better now. All right, so how are they going to pitch this? I think the easiest way and the least amount of damage is this. Hey guys, when you look at the Watchtower, we all know what you're thinking. Why is the organization planning for their future? Why are they setting up asset management companies? Why are they investing in future projects? Why are they building a $250 million movie studio if the end is right around the corner? We hear all the letters, the concerns. We understand you. We're planning for our future because we simply don't know when the end is going to come. And you should do the same. Done. If you were a Jehovah's Witness and you heard them say that, what would your reaction be? But for years you have been saying that the end is right around the corner. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have done this. You guys stole my life, and now my life looks like this when it could have been so much better. Why are you guys saying that now? Those smug bastards don't care about those people. And do you know why? There's nothing they can do about it. I'm going to get a little bit cynical here, but really think about the landscape of the organization. Look at all of these little breadcrumbs that my brain is following. First off, hostile takeover of all of the property around It's all Watchtower controlled now. You don't have to get your own loan, pay it off, own your own Kingdom Hall, you be able to sell it and build a different one. It's all going through Watchtower now. All right. So now if people want to leave, if they want to have a division, if the organization wants to split, what are those people going to do? What, you don't own anything? You want to start your own version of the religion? It'll be like Russell and Rutherford. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Bye. See ya. What are you going to do about it? Not have a Kingdom Hall? What, are you going to use your low-paying job to fund your new religion? What, are you going to pay for a printing press so you can keep up making the real Watchtower? Okay, fine. That'll be hilarious. We will watch you suffer for a couple of years and it will flame out. It will. It just will, because you don't have any assets. You don't have the money to start a new religion in 2025. So bye. See ya. Then my other hypothesis, where every time they have a major announcement, who do we see that looks horribly uncomfortable? 2 new governing body members are going to be appointed at this year's annual meeting, Garrett Loesch, and you're going to announce that they are members of the governing body. I don't want to do that. You don't have a choice. We're going to force you to do that. Think about this. Garrett Loesch has been a governing body member for longer than anyone else. He's been in the organization for so long, and now he is announcing the appointment of 2 people that literally decimates everything that he's believed in for most of his life. And he's appointing these 2 men and making the announcement. Before, for most of his life, he thought that the sealing of the anointed ones ended in 1935 and that this generation will not pass away before the end of the system comes, man. We gotta preach the word, man. And now he's having appointing people that were born 40 years after that date. They were born 40 years after that date, and now they're in the same position as him. It's laughable. The 2 new appointees that are in their 50s completely destroys all of their belief system that he has held for most of his life. What is he going to do? I'm not going to go up and make that announcement. What are they going to do? You bet you are, or we're going to kick you out. Oh, well, I'll expose you guys for that. We don't care. You're just going to be an angry apostate. We don't care about angry apostates. It never moves the needle. Go ahead. Have fun. Be homeless, idiot. You have given your whole life to this organization. What are you going to do? Like, write a book? Try and expose us? People don't like you. The apostates, you think they're just going to welcome you with open arms after you made their life horrible? What are you going to do? Pretend to be like the real Watchtower? Oh, yeah. Everyone wants to go back in time and have more rules. Yeah, tell me how many people you're going to get to join the Garrett Loesch religion, the real Watchtower that really serves the Christian God, and talk about all of these rules that you are going to re-implement. No, we're not going to do, I'm talking a little bit in the future here, but no, we're not going to do birthday parties. We're not going to celebrate. We're not letting people go to college. We're not toasting. We're not having beards. We're not wearing tight pants. Women aren't wearing pants. We're going back to counting time. It's going to be 100 hours for a pioneer. Yeah. Have fun, Garrett. Let me know how many people want to sign up for the Jehovah's Witness version of things from the 80s and the 70s. Let me know how many recruits you get. And what does Garrett Loesch do? I'd like to announce that he looks freaking miserable. Looks like he doesn't want to be up there. And every single time, what do? They get one of these old geezers to go up there and make the announcement because they don't have any other options. What the heck are you going to do? Nope, announce that we're not counting time anymore. I don't agree with that though. Like, it's literally been an integral part of being a Jehovah's Witness. We called it a sacred service to God, and now we're just saying it's not anymore. I don't want to make that announcement. Sure about that, bud? Sure about that? Hey, Stephen Lett, we need you to go up there and flip on its head the very foundation of most of the goofy rules we have in this religion and say pagan origins don't actually matter anymore. And I kid you not, there will be stories like the next day after they make that announcement, that people will start planning birthday parties. I promise you there are Jehovah's Witnesses out there that immediately started planning their first birthday party because the writing's on the wall. It's going to happen. You can't make... Anyway, we'll get too lost in the sauce here. They don't have any way. They don't have a way to protest. The organization does a hostile takeover and they control everything. They have the wealth to just ride this out for decades and do whatever the heck they want. They have options galore. And what options do people have to protest? Go and start the old school version of Watchtower? No one's going to follow that. No one's going to say, no, I want to go back to pretending that Armageddon is going to be tomorrow. I would like to go back to having that fear and anxiety. I would like to go back to not celebrating birthdays. I would like to go back to not toasting. I would like to go back to not wearing beards. I want to go backwards. No one, I promise you, the people that do want to do that are such a tiny little minority of old geezers that it simply doesn't matter. There's not going to be any youthful, vibrant people excited with the money and the wherewithal to start a new religion that want to go back to that version of it. There just isn't. So what will you have? A couple of crotchety old people yelling at the clouds? And guess what? What the new crop of governing body members will say? Have fun. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on your way out. Bye, bud. See ya. Have fun being poor and starving and homeless, living on the street. Have fun. Bye. I'm a billionaire. Deuces. I literally am a billionaire. I don't care about you. I don't have to care about you. Might be a little bit cynical, but that's just how I see it. So, thinking about this, I think it's inevitable that they're changing the birthday thing. That's going to change. I think the opening the door with the clinking of glasses together, it's so, you have to do something and just address the elephant in the room. You just have to say, okay, birthday parties, whatever. It's not in the Bible, it wouldn't be a hard sell. Even Christmas, I don't think you have to say, hey, we're having a Bethel Christmas party. But if someone is at work and they attend an office Christmas party and someone else posts a picture on social media and they're in the background wearing a party hat and having a toast, what's going to happen? You get called into the back room and someone says, hey, make sure that doesn't pop up on social media. But say you're sorry. I'm sorry. Business as usual. I don't think they're going to disfellowship someone, kick them out and make their life miserable for the next 2 years of their life. Even if they did, it's like a 90-day soft ban nowadays. There's another change. Instead of having to come groveling and spending years of your life in misery and silence and shunning, now it's people won't have long conversations with you for 90 days and then you can come back. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. It's not that bad. So, what does this change? Or what do I think? This is me just speculating here. But what do I think that this change looks like? I gotta be honest. It sounds like a pretty easy sell to me. Historically, they have said the end is right around the corner. Because of that, don't go to college. Now they're saying, yeah, it's kind of all right. You have examples of them planning for their future. The easiest thing to do. Watchtower, if you're listening, I'm giving you the playbook. Hey guys, We understand it's tough out here in these streets here in the last days, however long these last days. And look, anytime that there has been speculation, people have been trying to guess when the end of the world is. They've all been wrong. Do you want to be wrong? I didn't think so. The organization is simply saying, we don't know. It's their favorite thing to say anyway, nowadays. Before, everything was, we know. Now it's like, we don't know. Heck if I know. We don't know. And because we don't know, we're planning for our future. And so should you. I think it could work. I don't think that it would be the end of the organization. I don't think that people would just leave in droves, because they've already beta tested what it looks like to tell people, go ahead, leave, fine, and we'll even welcome you back with open arms. If you want to go ahead and get disfellowshipped and live your life and then come back at the last minute, we'll welcome you with open arms. Did people leave en masse? Did everyone just get up and say, no, let's get out of here? They didn't. If you can do that, I don't see why making a very easy pitch of we're planning for our future, so should you, would actually be that difficult. On the surface, it might seem insane that they would never back away, but they don't have to go hog wild and say Armageddon's actually just an analogy in the Bible and 1914 doesn't exist. I think they could just kind of like do that, and then all you have left hanging out there is that dang old generation teaching, and just scrap it. Get rid of it. Every time you've said it meant something, it was meaningless. And at this point, everyone knows that it's going to be meaningless in a couple of years anyway. Just be like, you know what? Jesus had some parables of some stuff. We don't know what they mean. Maybe he was just yapping. I don't know, the old lip flapper back there, dusty old rabbi from 2,000 years ago. It's not like he could see into the future and know that freaking Donald Trump was going to be the president of the United States of America and go to town with Elon Musk, and then they were going to have a falling out, and there's this whole Jeffrey Epstein guy. Like, it's not like Jesus knew anything about that, or else he would have said something. We don't know. So plan for your future. That's fine. And witnesses would be like, cool. Sounds good. And anyone that wants to get bitter and angry about it, they just don't care. They don't care. It's evil. It's cynical. It's horrible because they messed up everyone's lives. They've taken so much from people. But at this point, it's already done. Like, I could just see Mark Sanderson's smug little face. Yeah. What are you going to whine about the past? It's in the past. Complaining about it's not going to do you anything. Get with the times. Keep up with the chariot. This is the way of the organization now. So, you on board? If not, I actually don't care either way, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If I've totally lost my mind, maybe I've just gotten crazy here. It's a little bit hot in the Pacific Northwest today, so maybe the heat's gotten to me. Who really knows? But that's just when I close my eyes and I think, what the heck are they doing with this education U-turn? Because it is massive. It is a very big deal. And what the heck was happening with that Watchtower where they said, hey, you might need to come to terms with the possibility that the end's not coming in your lifetime? I see this long, like, little train of breadcrumbs that leads to an inevitable place where they just stop becoming a doomsday cult and they become something slightly different. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. With all of that, for those that listened, thank you for listening to my rant. Sometimes it feels good to turn the camera on and just yap. So anyway, stay safe, be kind. Don't forget to spend more time loving the things you love than hating the things you hate. You better have a good ass day.